So basically, what are the type conversion? Okay, so we have a byte data type, which is a 10 and which have a like name as a. Then we have an integer, which is a b, which has a like b equals 200. Now, what we actually doing is we are taking a value and assigning to the b. Okay, what are you actually doing is this int is a bigger than the byte. Okay, byte is small, int is a big. What are you doing is you're putting a big basket into the small basket. You're putting a big basket into the small basket, so it will give you an error because what are you doing is the big basket cannot fit into the small basket. Okay, then what we are doing here is we are taking a b like 200, and what we're doing is 200 equals a, like we change b to the 10. So what are you doing is like you're putting a small basket into the big basket. So this is a type conversion, and this type conversion is called implicit casting. Okay, so basically what we had done is the first thing what we had done in the beginning is we took a is a 10. So what we are doing is we are putting a byte value to 200, assigning a small we are like putting a big basket into the small basket, like this big basket into this byte basket. Okay, small basket. So the big basket cannot go into the small basket, but the big basket can go to the, I mean, the small basket can go to the big basket. Okay, so this is an implicit casting. Now it comes explicit casting. Okay, what are the explicit casting? Okay, now you have a byte a equals 10, then you have an int b equals 200. So what are you doing is like now what you're doing is this a big basket and you want to put in a small basket. At the beginning, what are you doing is you're changing its data type, like it is integer, but you're doing is you're making it small, like you're making a small basket and fitting to exactly the small basket. And what are you doing is you're making that this integer into the byte. Okay, this b is integer, then you're casting it with the byte, means you're making it making its value to the byte. And what are you doing is you're putting everything in a like byte, so this b becomes byte. Okay, this type casting, and this is called explicit casting, and this is implicit casting, means you did not define anything. Okay, you're actually doing is what you're putting a small basket in the big basket, it's working, and you're not explicitly giving a like bracket and putting like byte or integer like this. You're not doing exactly like this, and this is called explicit casting. So let's go deep into the example. Like I'm gonna give you an example. So okay, here we're gonna create an class like type conversion dot java. Click on it and click like class high version, I mean type conversion, open the curly bracket. Oh god, a little bit stucky. So write main. It's actually going quite slow, man. So in this way, so what we're gonna do is like we're gonna give a float value. Okay, like you have a float, and you're giving f equals a float value are actually decimal. Okay, so you're giving 10 point like 05. Then you have to define that this is a float value, not a decimal value. So you have to put f at the end and semicolon. Then what are we doing is we're actually casting f into the integer. Okay, so what I'm doing is like taking this int and saying is a, I mean n, give it n equals, what I'm doing is actually I'm casting like f. Okay, so what I will do is like I just initialize it. Let me just initialize it, int n. Okay, now what I'm doing is putting n in like n to f, like putting integer into the floor, and so it will give me an error. Like when you have actually want to look and quick fix it, what says, it's saying add cast to int, means it's actually giving an solution for converting float value onto the integer. So because now what I will do is I will cast it. Okay, just put int, oh god, like int inside the bracket, uh, in typecast it. Okay, the cast been successfully. Now if you print out SOUT and you print out like n, so uh, in this the print out will be only 10. In this typecasting, what are you doing is like you're taking a float point and you're putting into the integer and casting it. Okay, so what happens is integer does not have a decimal value. Only float and decimal have the decimal decimal values. Okay, integer does not have a decimal values. So you will lose the data of decimal, like you will lose point 0.5. Okay, so click on it. So basically typecasting works on numerically mostly. Like if you have float, you have double. In future also you will learn how to do like casting on objects. So you can see here like you have a 10, you lost the data of 0.5. So this is just a small example just to give how casting works. You're actually like you can turn float to the decimal value, decide the float by casting, or it can happen with implicit, or it can be with explicit. Okay, so thank you guys, and this is type conversion in Java.